Tens of thousands of campaigners marched through Manchester to protest against the government as the Conservative Party conference got underway. Security was ramped up in the city as protesters, organized by anti-Brexit and anti-austerity activists, took to the streets. It was believed around 1,000 extra officers will be drafted in as part of a £2 million operation during the Tory conference, with Manchester's police chief issuing a warning to campaigners. Protesters gathered to hear speeches from the likes of Shadow Chancellor John McDonnell and Liberal Democrat leader Vince Cable. Pictures from the scene showed a huge float depicting Prime Minister Theresa May, Boris Johnson, David Davis and Michael Gove, bearing the slogan "Brexit is a monstrosity." Waving placards and chanting "Oh Jeremy Corbyn," the People's Assembly took to the streets and protested austerity, with at least 20,000 expected to join the march. Public and Commercial Services Union boss Mark Serwotka called for a general strike on public sector pay to bring the Tories down, saying Tory policies were literally killing people. David Cameron told us he has slayed the health and safety monster, but we now know they slayed men and women and children as they slept in their houses, he said. Amid the demonstrations, smoke bombs were thrown near the Conservative conference, it was reported. A combined model of Brexit Minister David Davis, Michael Gove, Boris Johnson and Theresa May is displayed at the anti-Brexit demonstration. FGD images demonstrators, some wearing masks to hide their identity, chanted "Let us out" after police refused to let a van join the march route because it did not have security clearance. About 25 police officers lined up to block the road and stood silently as the chants continued. The high-profile security operation comes after Mrs May and Conservative members were greeted by a disturbing banner that read "Hang the Tories" upon arrival on Saturday. Protesters gather outside the conference venue. EPA the sign, and two effigies hanging from ropes underneath the bridge where it was placed, was widely condemned online by the public and politicians. Chief Superintendent John O'Hare acknowledged that two particularly large protests are to take place on Sunday. He added, "We have been really clear with protesters to say we are here to facilitate lawful, peaceful protest and will be doing everything can so they can exercise their right to free speech, to protest and express their opinion." Campaigners carry a giant EU flag during an anti-Brexit march on the first day of the conference. FGD images, but with that comes a degree of responsibility. There is a line between what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. When that line is crossed, and it becomes more intimidatory behavior and people are in fear or oppressed, then at that point we will take action. Following Sunday's marches, he added, up to 30,000 people came into Manchester city centre today to take part in various protests. "I would like to thank the overwhelming majority for their cooperation, which helped us to minimize disruption to the city and keep everyone safe," he said. No arrests were made during the demonstrations. There is still a major policing operation in place to ensure everyone coming into Manchester can do so in a safe and enjoyable manner and take advantage of everything our city has to offer, he added. Speaking before the anti-Brexit rally, Sir Vince Cable, the Liberal Democrat leader, said, "I believe it would be a healthy exercise in democracy to participate in a peaceful, dignified protest on the big issue of the day by marching. And the issues don't come any bigger than Brexit, which is why I will be addressing marchers protesting at the Conservative conference in Manchester this weekend," he told The Independent. Tory ministers gathered for the start of the annual conference on Sunday. Britain's EU divorce deal and the scope of any post-withdrawal transition period look set to dominate the gathering.